Hi everyone, I hope that all of you are doing really great. So in today's video what we are going to say is next part of this portfolio website. So in the previous video, if you have not watched that, I will be giving the link in the description, so you just go and watch that video. So we had built this hero section and the nav bar in the previous video, as you can see this one, right? And in the portfolio, the next part that we are going to have is the skills section, the experience sections and projects and your education and all the stuffs. So in this part we are going to continue from the skills section. We have already made a file for the skills, as you can see, skills education, right? So let's just continue with the skills section and let's get started. I hope you will enjoy this video. If you enjoy my video, you can subscribe my channel, like the video and comment down below like how you are liking it and how is your experience for the portfolio, right? So without wasting any time, let's get started for the video. So let me open this code, right? So this was the hero section, I guess. Yeah, so let us close this. It's done. Okay, so now what we are going to have here is our skills section, right? So we have a skills index page. So first let us start making this one. So what I will do here is I will be using style components, right? So let's import the style components. Okay, style components is done, and we are going to have our skills from this constants, not this one, sorry, from this constants, right? We are having our skills here, so I will import that one. So to import that one, I will write a simple import. Yeah, okay, so our skills is imported. And now, so in the skills section, so first thing, let us make the flow. So let's see the flow, how it's going to be. So in the skills section, as you can see, we have a section, means this is a section, right? So we are having a title skills. So after that we have a small description about the section, and then we are having different cards, right? So let's just begin. So our layout will be a simple normal layout, and we are having this text and this card view, right? So let's just get started. It's easy. So first thing, we will be needing a div only. So after that, let us give an ID because we want to give it an ID. So I will give it skills, right? So after this, inside this div, let's first of all make a container, or we can do one thing like this also. Let's just rename this div as container, and inside this container what we will be doing is we will be wrapping it wrapper. So after this wrapper, what are the things that we have is title. So our title is skills, then we will be having a description. So we will be having a description. So after the description, let me paste the description. Yes, after the description we will be having a skills container. So now the skills container are for these cards. Okay, so we have done this title, this description. Now here is a container for these cards. So I will write here simply skills container, right? And we will be mapping the skills that we are having here. So if you see this constant, there is an array of skills, means the skills is an array, right? So in this array we have objects, different objects, right? So we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this array we are having 4 objects. If I open one, so we are having in the object we are having title, and there is a skills. So in the skills also it is again an array of objects, because as you can see that here is the title front end, and after that there are different skills in the front end, right? So for that I have a icon, image icon, and the title means and the skills that we are having. So I have same thing here. So title front end, inside that there are different skills, and in the skills we have its name, and then we have an image link. So I have given already this one, this constant folder, I have given it in the drive in the previous video. In this video I will be also linking it, so you can check it out from the description, right? So let's just first of all map this one. So in React we map like this. We have its item, and then we have its skills icon. I am giving skills title, skills, and I'm closing the wrapper, right? So now from where this thing, now I guess this one is done. I have to end this one, skills container. Yeah, so now what we have to do is we have to make all this component, as we are using style components, so we are going to make this one. So for the skills card, I have to modify something. First of all, I have a skill, then I have to give the skill title outside. First of all, I don't have icon, skills title, and after that I will be having the list of the skills. So I will write it skill list, means skill list means this one, all the skills inside this front end. So inside the skill list I will be again mapping it. So I will be mapping the item dot it will be skills, as you can see here it is skills inside this skills. So I will be mapping it skills, then again let's name it different skill. I am naming it skill. Then what we are having here is skill item, and then we will be closing this one. So in the skill item I will be having not only skills, I will be having 2 things because it's an object. So first will be skill image. So skill image, that is the icon, and the skill name. so I'm giving it simply skill name. I don't need any extra component there. And this one, I guess it's image here. Yes, so I will be giving it image. Okay, so yeah, so I think our layout is almost done. So now let's get started with the styling part. So let me explain you one time again. So first we have a container. So this container is for the section that we are having. So this is the skill section that we are having, right? So inside this container we are wrapping it. So we are, after wrapping, we are having the title. First of all, as you can see, we have a title, description, and this cards, right? So we have title, description, and the skills container for the card container. Then I am mapping all the skills that I am having in format of an object, because it will act like a card. This whole skill will be acting like a card. So then we have a skill. So it is the card for front end, back end. So it is skill. Then we have the skill title, that is front end, back end titles. Then we have the list of skills that we are having inside it, like these things, ReactJS, Redux, is right. So we have a list. We are again mapping it. So after mapping, we are having small chip type card. So that is skill item. We have a skill image and skill name. So this is the chip type thing, the image and name, right? So we are having the simple layout, and it's very much easy, right? So let's get started with the style components. So first I have a container, right? So in the container I will give its display flex first of all. After that I will give its flex direction column, then justify content center, then I will make its position relative. After that I will give it a z index, and then I will align item center and nothing else, right? So this is done. So after this container, so I am simply making a normal container having its display in the column direction. I am aligning it to center. So after that I will make a wrapper. So wrapper I will give a max width of 1100. After that what I need is position. Again it's position relative. Then I will display it, make it display flex. Then I will justify content. Okay, so flex direction column. Then justify content center. Then I need its width to be 100%. Then I need a gap of 12 pixels. And after that I need what else do I need? I guess it's done. Justify content, I have to make it space between, and I think it's done. And let's give a media query. To make it responsive, I will make it flex direction column. Okay, so I don't need it. I have already flex direction column, right? So I will just simply close it. Okay, so after that we have the title. So in the title we have font size. Its font will be 42 pixels. So font weight, its font weight would be 600. Then I have its color. So color, it will okay, so before that thing I will align it to center, and then I will give a margin top. Then I will give a margin top of, say, not 50, let's give it 20 pixel. After that I will give a margin top, let's give it 12 pixels. And after that what else do we need? I need the color, right? So the color I will be having from the themes. So for the themes I will do like this. This stuff is this. Okay, so I am having the theme color primary. Okay, so let's give it this one. The next. Okay, so I have given the color, and the last thing that I need here is, first of all, the title. It will be native, simple. And let's first close this one. And the next thing that I require here is a media query. So I will give a media query of let's say its font size with 32 pixel. And one more thing, it's margin top. Here let's give it 20, and it will be 12 here, and it will be 768 pixels. We will be making it like this, right? So the next thing is title is done. So let us see one thing, let's how it's looking. So if you come here, rest of the things are not defined, so we can't see that thing. So first make this section comment out so that we can check it. So let's make the description and we can check it out how it can look. Okay, so for the description I will give a font size of 18 pixels. After that I will give it a max width of 600. After that, what else? I will text align to center. Then I will give it a color, text secondary, and after that we need is media query for making it. Its font size should be 16 pixel. Yeah, yes. So now we have made this container wrapper, and we are having title and description. So if you see this one, if you reload this one, so if you scroll it down, you can see that it's having the skills and this thing, right? So it's looking good. But one thing that we have to do here is, first of all, the description we have to make something. For that, let's see why the problem is coming. I have made the description max width. If I remove this one, so it's coming like this. Okay, got it. So I have to do one thing in the wrapper. I have to make this justify content center and align items center. So if we see, now it's perfect, right? So justify content, make it space between. Okay, now it will be good. Yeah, so if you see this one, it's exactly the same, but yeah, it's same, right? So one thing that I am seeing here is one thing that we can see here is that this click path is fading out like this, right? So I have to see that one. I will see that later, the gradient part, but our skills is coming like this one. So now let's just get started with this one, the container and the card type thing, right? So we are having our skills container, so let's just make it skills container. So in the skills container, we will give it a width of 100%, then display flex. I will wrap it. I will give it a margin top. Let's give it a 30 pixel. After that, we will be justifying its center. And the next thing that we are having here is a gap of let's give a gap of 30 pixels, and it's good to go. Okay, so the next thing after the skills container that we are having here is skills. So let's just do with skills with 300, height 300. I will give a background color. I guess it's card only, simple. Yeah. Then after that, we will give it a border. Border I will give 1 pixel solid. I will make it 0.1 pixel solid, and I have a custom color, so I will give that one. You can see there from here, this one. After that, BOR. Okay, and the next thing that I need is border radius. Border radius I need 16 pixels. Then I need a padding of 18 pixel, 36 pixel. After that, I guess that's pretty much for it. So next, just make it responsive. So media query, I will give it a max width of 400 pixel is good. And padding, I will give a padding 13 pixel, 30 pixel, 10 pixel, and it's 36 pixels, so it's done. Okay, and again a media query and max width I will give 330 padding. Okay, yeah, so here I will make it 330 pixels. Let's just make it 500. We have to change it. It's 36. It's pretty much good. Yeah, and we are good to go. So I have made this skills container, the wrapper for the card. So now let's just make the skill title. So its font size is 32. Let's make it H2. Font size is 28 pixels. After that, we have a font weight, then we have a color, then we have a margin bottom, and we will align it to center, and it's done. So text primary, I will change it to text secondary, and these things are good. Margin bottom, let's make it a big 20. Okay, so if you want to see this one, I am commenting out this skills list, so we can check that how it's looking. So if you reload, we can see that we are having different cards, 1, 2, 3, 4 that we had in the constant. We are having them and we are mapping them, right? So you can see this one, these are looking pretty much good and same as like this cards. Now we have to implement the skills inside it. So till now, if you have liked the video, you can give a like button, and you can also subscribe my channel, right? So yeah, now let's just make this skill list. Okay, so first of all, skill list, I will make it a div, and then we will make it display flex direction I don't need. I will make it justify content center. I will make it justify content center, then I will wrap it, then I will give it a gap of say 12 pixels, and margin bottom, I need margin bottom, I need 20 pixels. Yeah, that's pretty much good. Now is the main things, skill item. So first thing I will make here is display flex, then I will align item center, then I will make a gap of 8 pixel is good, then I will give it a justify content center, and its font size 16 pixels. Then color, I will give text primary plus 80. I don't need text secondary, text primary plus 80. And what else? I need a border radius. Border radius, I will give it 12 pixels. And then I need a border 0. I will make it 1 pixel, and we will have the same thing that we have for the color. So I will just copy paste it here. Okay, and what else do we have? I have a padding. I will give a padding of 12 by 16, so this will be 16 and it will be 12, right? So I had a padding also. Then I need a font weight. Font weight, I will give it a 400 normal font. Yeah, that's pretty much good, I guess. Now let's just make it responsive. So I will make its font size 14. I will make its padding also 8 by 12. Okay, that's good. And again for 500 pixel, I will make its font size a little small, and done. And okay, if we see this one now, font size, I guess let's let it be 14 and 6 by 12. Yeah, that's good. So the next thing that we are having is only one thing left. We can see that is a skill image, and once we do that, our skill section will get completed. So let's just make it, right? So I will make a constant skill image, and that's the image simply, and we will give it a height and a width, and that's it. So we can see, if we come, we can reload this one, and we can see it's coming. Now one thing that we have to make the changes is, if you see here, the image is a little big, so let's first make that one change. Let it make 24 pixel. Yeah, and I think I have to increase the width of the cards. So for that thing, skills container and the skills. Okay, this width and height is 300. So by default it has came, I guess. So I will only give a width. I will give a width of 100%, and I will give a max width of 500 pixels. And once this is done, it's done. You can see the same thing that we have here is coming in front of you. That's pretty much good. And also one more thing that you can see here is the gradient is also coming like that. So how it became, because as we are putting the gradient, so as it expands the height, the gradient automatically comes like that, right? So that's a good thing. We're having the same thing and it's looking awesome, as you can see. So if you have liked this video till now, give it a thumbs up in the in the like button, and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press the notification icon. So within this few lines of code, we have made our skill section using style components, and that's also pretty much awesome thing, right? So now the next thing that comes out here is experience. So you can see the experience thing. What we are having is same thing, the experience title, experience description, and we are having experience card. So in the experience card, if we hover, we can see this one. So you can see the, means you can give any resource file that you need, right? So you can map all those experience, right? So you can, if you click, it will open like that. Okay, so let's just start making the experience section, and after that we have the project. That is also pretty much good, right? So let's just get started with the experience section. So skill section is done. Okay, so I will make experience. So in the components, I will make a folder. First of all, I will name it experience. So inside this experience, I will have a same index.js, right? And default React component, I will change its name, experience, right? So now let's just call it in the app.js. We will be needing it. After skills, there is experience. It will import it automatically, right? So if you come here, you can see experience is coming, right? So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing in the experience, we are having the same thing, right? So let's come into here, and I will again rename this as container. Then in the container, what we are having the same wrapper that we had previously. I will give a title, I will give a description, and there will be a timeline, right? So I will make a timeline, means the timeline section is the what we can say here. If you come and see, the timeline is this container, card container, all these cards container, right? So in the timeline, yeah, so timeline, let's make the spelling correct. So what's in the timeline, I will tell you in a little bit. Let's first make the code perfect. So first I will import styled from style components, and I will paste the things from there in the skills that we have. We have four things till description, right? We will paste it here. All right. Here is error, I guess. So in the return statement, I am having error. Let's fix that one. And we are done, I guess, pretty much. So why this error is coming, I don't know. Container I have. Okay, I have not given the wrapper here. For that reason, the error is coming up. So we are having container wrapper. If I comment this title timeline for up now, you can see. If you come in here, if you reload it, we can see we are having the experience section, right? So now let's just make one thing, that was this one, that is timeline section. So in the timeline section, what we are having is we will be wrapping it in timeline, and after that we will map it. So for mapping, I will import experience from data. So if you can see, it is imported, right? Okay, so experiences, and inside experience, if I show you this one, let me show you in the constants how the experience is. So in the experience also we are having an array, and inside that there are different objects, right? So in the objects we have its ID, image, role, company, data, date of joining, means the date till the working time, the skills, and some documentation if you have, right? So in the experience I am going to map it. So first of all I will experience dot map different experiences. So I am giving it a name timeline item, and then I have I am first closing this one so it will be easy for me to understand. Yes, okay. So as you can see, it's done. I am writing a simple hello here, so we can check that it's coming or not. So we are making this timeline. Okay, so let's just start making it. Timeline section. So in the timeline section, what we can have here is a width of 100%. Then I will give it a max width 1000 pixel. And then I will give it a margin top of not 30, margin top 10. Then I need its display text direction column, align item center, justify content center, and at the last I need a gap of let's say 12 pixel. That's good. Yeah, so that's pretty much the thing. And one more thing, that I need to give ID here. So I will give it ID equal to experience. So now why I'm giving this ID, I will show you that how it's actually working. So for now what we will do here is we are having this timeline component. Okay, so like this timeline item, we are having that thing from a library MUI timeline. Okay, so first of all we will import it. So we have already installed that one. As I showed you in the package.json, we have already added all the material UI things that are required, right? So I will import all the timeline things that are required and I will paste it here. Okay, so let me do that one. I am pasting it here. So all this timeline item, timeline separator, all these things are required, right? So I'm pasting it here. So after that, what we are going to have here is let's see. So after the timeline section, yes, this one, timeline. Okay, so let's first close this one, timeline. So this timeline should be coming from the one that we are having from the MUI, because we are creating a timeline, right? So we are having the timeline. So inside timeline we are mapping the experience, and we are having timeline item. So let's just timeline item. So you can see timeline item, right? So if you now come here and if you see that we are having all these 4 things, but nothing is coming here, right? So let's just start doing with this one. So first thing we will be having here is a timeline separator. So we have this timeline separator with dot and the line. So for us, let's also make that one. So I will remove this hello. So I will give timeline separator, and inside timeline separator we will be having a timeline dot, and we will have a timeline connector, and again we will have a timeline separator. So if you come now, you can see the dots are coming, all the 4 dots, right? And I will the content that we have, for that I will give timeline content. Okay, so in the timeline content I will be giving the for of now I am giving hello. For of now I am giving hello to check it. So you can see hello is coming, right? So now let's make some changes here. So first thing that I will have, the timeline is dotted. So I will give it a variant dotted. Variant I will give it outline. Sorry, not dotted, it's outline. After that thing that we are having here is color. I will give it secondary. So if you check this one, okay, so I am having some error. Timeline dot variant outline, and this one. Okay, so what error is coming here? I don't know what is the error. Can't read and define main. Okay, the secondary spelling is wrong. So if I make it now, yeah, you can see its color is now purple. Okay, the next thing, the changes that I will do here is for the timeline connector. I will give a condition if the index. First of all, let's take the index also. After the experience, I will need its index. So if the index, okay, is it the last one, I don't want to show it. Okay, means if it is not the last one, then only the timeline connector will be shown. That's the thing I wanted. So you can see that for the last one, the last line is not coming. Okay, as we have it here, the last dot ends over here. Okay, so that is also done. Now we are going to work with the timeline connector. So it won't be timeline connector, I made it wrong. So it will be timeline content. Okay, so timeline content, I was giving it a hello, right? So yeah, we can see that it's now pretty much good. So now we have to make the cards for this. So like this one, we will be making the card, how the card is. Okay, and we will import it here, and it will be like pretty much good to go. So let us make one thing, small changes. I will make a style change here. I will give it a padding in the y-axis, 12 pixels, and here too. Yeah, that's good. If you see, yeah, that's good, right? So it's done. Let us make the card first of all. So for that thing, I will, in the component section, I will make a folder called cards. Okay, so in the cards we will be having the experience card. Okay, for the card, let us make a folder experience card. Okay, so I will make it a simple component first of all, RFCE, and then I will import it here. Instead of hello, I will give it experience card. Okay, so I have to import it first of all, so I will import it from here, experience card. Okay, so it's done, and I will pass this experience over here because we will be getting the contents of the card from here only. So I will pass it as a props. Okay, so it's passed to this experience card, right? We can use that one. So if you come here now, so you can see experience card is coming, right? So now the next thing we will be doing is we will be making this card. Okay, so in this experience card, if you come here, you can see that what are the things that are present. So first we have a card, we have its border radius, then in the top we are having the company logo, then the role that you're performing, then the company's name, then the date and the description that you can give, and the skills that in which you're working on, right? And at the last we have the documentation. So it is a very simple card that we are going to build. So let's get started with the card. So in the experience card, I am taking the experience first of all, so I will take it as a props. So experience, right? So the next thing that let's give it the thing card. Okay, and inside the card, what the things we are going to have here is the top. First will be the top, where the in the top there will be the logo and these things, this three stuffs. Then we have the description and then skills and documentation, right? So in the top we will be having the stuffs. Then let us make the description. Sorry, from material icon it has got imported, I don't want that. Description. After that, what we are going to have is the documentation. So the documentation will only be shown if the experience have a documentation. Like for many cases we don't have a documentation, so for that case I don't want to show this one, right? So I will make it simple anchor tag. Okay, and inside that I will make a component document. So in the anchor tag I will give it a href experience .doc. I guess it was .doc. It was doc only. Yeah, it was doc. So experience.doc. Target I will give new. Okay. So we are having this pretty much thing now in the top. What we are going to have here is, let's first do one thing. Let's comment out this stuff for of now, and let's just start with the top, and the description also I am commenting down. Okay, I just made the layout how it will be looking like. So in the top, what I am having here is first of all a logo. I will give experience dot, I guess it was image. Okay, so it will be image. Then what I was having here is the I will give it a name of body. So in the body, the next thing that I will be giving here is let's see what we are having. So in the body we have the role, company and the date, right? So in the body I will have here first of all the role. After that we are going to have here is the company, and the last one is duration. Okay, so we are having these three things. So first of all, let's just map them also. Experience dot role, then we are going to have experience dot after role we have a company. I can see it's small c. Yeah, it's small c, it's company. And in the duration also I will copy from here only. So yeah, in the duration we have its date, I guess. You can see, yeah, it's date. So So I've mapped all these things. So let's just start making this component to check it how it's looking. So I will import the style components. So the first one is the card, right? So let's just start with the card. So I will give it with 100%, not 100%. Let's just give it with 650 pixels. Height I don't want actually. I will give it a border radius. Border radius 10 pixels. Then I will give it a box shadow. I have a custom box shadow. I will give that. After that, we have a padding of 12 pixels, 16 pixels. Then I will make it justify content. Yeah, space between. Then we will give it a position relative. Okay, and then I will give it overflow hidden. I will make it display flex. I have forgot display flex. Then I will give flex direction column. Then I will give it a gap of let's say 12 pixels, and we will give it a transition. Yeah, and the next thing that we will be having is hover. On hover, we will give it a box shadow, deeper one. Okay, this will be 20. Then I will also make it little bit translation. Translate. I will give it translate y 5 pixels. Then hover is done. Then I will make it responsive. I will give it a padding 10 pixels. That's good. Then I will give it a gap of 8 pixels. And at the last I will give it a width of 300 pixels. And that's pretty much good. And the next thing I will give it later. So we are having a border also, right? So we will give it a border 1 pixel solid and a box shadow. So I have this custom thing, so I am just writing them. So, and we are done. So I have a box shadow and I have a border. Okay, so the next thing after this one, card is top, right? So let's make the top style component. In the top I will make its display flex. I will give it a gap 12 pixels and I will make it with 100%, and that's good. So after that I have the logo. So I will give its height, I will not give its width, I will give its height 50 pixels. I will give it some background color. By default it will come black. And then I will give it a border radius 10 pixels. Then I will give it margin top 4 pixels, and that's good. I will give a media query and I will make its height a little bit small, and that's good. So I have the image also now. So the next thing that we're having here is body. So in the body, let's make it. So if I have a div, I will make it display flex and I will give it flex direction column, and I need a width of 100%. So now why did I make that one? Because we are having this stuff. The body is this one, right? So we are having the body. So yeah. So next thing that we can start here is the first one is role. So let's make the role. I will give it a font size of 18 pixels, font weight of 600, color I will give primary plus 99, and then after that I will give it media query. I will make its font size a little small, and that's good. So the next thing after this one that we have here is company. So I will give it a font size of 16 pixels, font weight and color the same, and the media query. Okay, so that's done pretty much. Let's just make this one 14 pixels. So the company is also done, and the last one, that is the duration, we will be making that one. So font size, let it be 12 pixels. So font weight, let it be 400 pixels. Then I have the color, the same thing, text secondary plus, let's give it 80. Then after that thing that we're having here is media query, and let's make its font size 10 pixels, and pretty much good to go. So if you can see this one now, you will see in the React, if we reload that one, we are having in the experience, we are having the logo, the title, the role, the logo, and the company, and all the stuffs. So let's just move in the next step onto the description. So now we are having the description part here. So let's just start with the description. First I will uncomment this section. Yeah, so let's just go with the description. So in the description, I will make it a fonts description. Yeah, and we are having its width to be 100%. With 100%, then font size would be 15 pixels. Then I have a font weight of 400 pixels. Then I have a color, the same text primary, margin I need a margin bottom 10 pixels, and the media query of font size will be 12 pixels, right? And that's good for the description. I will change this one to text primary. So now let's implement the description also. So from experience dot I guess in the constant we have DSC. Okay, so it's done. And if you now see that we are having the description also, right? We are having the description and it's looking exactly the same. So the last thing that is left here is the skills and the document, right? So let's just make it. So for the skills in the description only I have to make it. So what I will do here is I will map the experience dot experience I will give it a question mark. Then if I have the skills, I will map them. If I have the skills, so I will map them. So what we have in the skills, I will first give a br tag, then I will make the skills. And the skills I will be giving a bold tag, and I will write skills. Then I will make the item wrapper of the thing that I have. Item wrapper, and in that item wrapper I will map the experience skills that I have. So I will map it like this. I will add one thing, that is a dot. Okay, so I guess description is done. So let's make these components. So I will start with the skill. I will give its width 100%. Then I will give it a display flex. Then I will give it a gap. Gap would be 12 pixel, would look good. And a margin top. Yeah. Margin top, let's give it minus 10 pixels. Then I am having the item wrapper, so I will wrap it. So I will give it display flex. Then we will have a flex wrapper. Then it's gap, right? And it's done. I will make it 8 pixel. Then I will have the skills. In the skills I will have font size. The font weight will be 400. I will make it 15 pixels. Then I have the color, the same text primary, and that. Then I don't have anything. I will give a media query, and its font size will be 12 pixels. And it's done. So if you reload this one, so you can see that we are having our experience. So one thing that we have to do here is we have to give a margin top to the skills, so it will be separated. So we are having the skills container, right? So in the skills I will give it I will remove the margin top minus. Yeah, now it's looking pretty much good. So if you see this one, so here also the skills are coming, and the skills are coming like the same, right? So the last thing that's left out here is the document section. So let's just uncomment this one. We are having a simple document component, right? So let's just make the document component. So I will make a const document, and it will be a styled image. And in the styled image, what we are going to have here is I will give it a height of 70 pixels. Height of 70 pixels. Then the next thing I will give it a width. Width I will give it fit content. Then I will give a background. I will give a background color black. By default it will be black till the image loads. So 3 zeros. After that we will give a border radius. I will give it a 10 pixel border radius, right? And in the hover, let's do for the hover. So in the hover section, what we will be having here is I will make it cursor pointer, and opacity 0.8, and that's pretty much good for our document. If we see here, we are having, but we have not give the image here, right? So let's just do that one. So I will give simple src, and I will map the experience dot doc. src experience dot doc. Yeah, and if we see, the document is loaded, right? So by default it's loaded in all the containers. So if you can see, one thing that is coming out here is it is coming, right? But in the portfolio that we are having is if we hover on them, then only the document will come. So to implement that thing, what we are going to do is, first of all, we will cut this document and we will bring it to the top before the card, because on the card hover we will do one thing. So in the card hover, say there is a hover, again I will make a hover, and here I will check one thing, that if the card if the document, I have to check that hover card, and I will give a $sign and I will write here the document. So if you are having this thing, then only I will be implementing display flex, else by default its display should be none. So if you see now, the thing is not coming, and if you hover, the document is coming, right? So that's the thing I told. So it's pretty much good and it's done, and I don't think anything else is present. So yeah, so that's the thing. We have made the experience section, we have made the skill section. One thing that we need here is a gap between this one, experience and the skills, right? So for that thing, what we can do here is we will come to the index.js file, and I will give it here a margin top, or we can give it a padding. We will give it 0 pixels, and let's give it 20 pixels, and let's just see. So yeah, it's now coming. Okay, so not this one. So let us give it 20 pixels and see. I need a little bit more, 50 pixels. Yes, now I guess it's look good. So if we check it here, yeah, now it's looking good. So we are done with the experience section and our skill section. I think you have liked this video. It's looking pretty much good. So wait for the next video. It is being a long video, so I will be bringing out the next video on which we will be implementing the projects and the education section, right? So yeah, thank you for watching this video. If you have liked this one, subscribe my channel, like this video and share it with your friends. I will be seeing you in the next video. Till then, bye bye, have a great day.